Hey friends, it's Daphne. Hey friends, it's Daphne. Hey friends, it's Daphne. Hey friends, it's Daphne. Hey guys, it's Daphne. Hey friends, it's Daphne. Hey friends, it's Daphne, your flat earth nurse. Hey friends, it's Daphne, and welcome back to my channel. And I say back to my channel because if this is where you're starting, you're totally lost. This video could also just as well be called questions and answers, because we are going to be answering some of our most popular questions in this video. People want to know why I shit talk peanuts and peanut butter, and why I shit talk whole grains and bran and whole wheat, and people want to know what is it exactly that's killing vegans, what is it exactly that's making them look so terrible, what is it exactly that's causing all of these problems. And when we watch the malnourishment videos that Phytic has put out, and we see what's, we see the deterioration, but he doesn't actually say exactly what's causing it. Yes, these people are vegans, and yes, they're deficient in everything, but what's causing the general look of their terrible just decline? What would you call what they're going through?
Scary.
It's scary. It's so scary.
Wow.
I'm not going to put up the footage of the children, but in the video he does show children, and they're having I don't know, they're having a hard time with veganism. And I want people to understand that children are not immune to problems simply because they're young. I had one of my friends message me and she said, oh, what about this woman who's feeding her child a terrible diet? The child is a toddler and they already have like wrinkles and nasolabial fold issues. Like, what's up with that? I want everybody to know that children are not immune to aging. Children are not immune to nutritional deficiencies. If anything, they are actually predisposed to it. Babies can have eye bags, cellulite, and wrinkles, okay? They can also outgrow them and heal and get better. But people think that, children are young and healthy and that young and healthy are synonymous, and that is not fucking true. It's just not true, okay? And to be young and healthy is a wonderful thing, but they are not always synonymous and they do not always happen together. Okay, so today in this video, this is almost pretty much a public service announcement. Like, we're going to be discussing what I consider veganism's #1 silent killer. Because we live in a society that's like so pro-calcium. Everybody, people that eat meat or people what you would call omnivores, they're very pro-dairy and they want everyone to get their calcium from dairy. And then the vegans who are very pro-leafy greens, they want everybody to get their calcium from leafy greens, and everybody is just hell-bent on telling you how much calcium you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the big problem with this is that that's not actually our issue. It's not actually calcium that is our serious issue. Our serious issue is zinc. And calcium would be kind of like a little bit below zinc on that list. It's up there. I'm not saying that it's not important, but what I'm saying is like how hell-bent everybody is on calcium is how hell-bent everybody should be about zinc. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when somebody has a zinc deficiency, the vegan solution are stupid. They're like, oh, beans, oh, hummus, oh, you should eat, a supplement, or just like, they don't understand. They don't understand what they're talking about. And for them to tell people to take in phytates in abundance as a way to cure a zinc deficiency is literally pissing in the wind. And it's really making me angry. And I got a lot of comments on a couple of our previous videos that we've done recently regarding the zinc deficiency, because people who even eat meat have Bose lines. People who even have meat are losing their hair. People who even eat meat are doing, or having, symptoms of a zinc deficiency. And they're having that simply because they don't eat enough meat, or they're eating too many plants in addition to eating meat. Like, even if you wake up every morning and you have a steak, if you're chugging that, you're chugging coffee with that, then you're having that problem, or you could potentially have that problem. So we're going to get into talking about what the phytates do and what they're in, and why the vegans are suffering simply because of not enough zinc. And that is because it governs so much of the whole body. I mean, once you just research zinc literally for 15 minutes, you will see that it governs all of the areas of the body that vegans find that they have failing. Their reproductive system, their digestive system, their hair loss. They've got all of these things just going wrong simply because of this zinc deficiency. And another thing about zinc is that people don't understand it's so difficult to overcome this particular deficiency. It's not just like if you happen to be deficient in vitamin C or calcium, and you can just overcome that within a couple of days. Zinc deficiency is long-standing, and one of the reasons it's long-standing seems to be that the people who are treating their zinc deficiency don't understand the negative impact of phytic acid. So that's what we're going to talk about. I want to preface this video, actually I should have already said this in the video, because this is like the footnotes. This is really important. This is like the disclaimer. This is one of the most important parts of the video, so lean in closely. If you happen to have a zinc deficiency and you do a little bit of research about it and the internet tells you the first thing you should do is run to seafood or shellfish, please don't. This video is also going to be addressing the issue with seafood and why food does not any longer come from the sea, and that answer is Corexit. So please do not run to your computer and think, oh, Google says shellfish is all I need, and then just go do that. Because if you don't listen to the rest of the video, you will be lost, because you need to understand phytates and you also need to understand Corexit. On our previous channels, we have already touched on Corexit. I think I did it naturally because I'm a fucking mermaid and I care about what's going on in the ocean, not in an environmentalist way, but in a I just am curious and I want to understand kind of way. And so understanding Corexit means that there's no safe seafood. Everything that's ever happened wrong in the ocean, the government of any country has decided, well, let's just piss Corexit on it. And that's what they've done in pretty much every area. And unless I literally live at Palmyra Atoll, I'm not eating any seafood. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it, okay? Unless it's caught by you at Palmyra Atoll, I'm not eating it, okay? Because I think that that might be the only place left on Earth that has uncontaminated seafood. But anyway, if somebody wants to eat fish, like I'm not talking about actual seafood, but just fish, if they were to catch it in a safe river or lake, something high altitude, kind of where we live in Colorado, that would be your best bet because it's higher altitude and people don't spray here for oil slicks or whatever, but even that fish has its own problems. So it's really important for people to understand that in order to overcome their zinc deficiency, they need to kind of do it without leaning on the highest sources of zinc, which come from the ocean, because you don't want to mix a zinc deficiency with a Corexit problem, because a zinc deficiency lowers your ability to fight off everything. A zinc deficiency lowers your ability to reproduce, it lowers your ability to think clearly, it lowers your ability to fight off any kind of infection, it lowers your ability to, like, chemical sensitivities are increased by a lower immunity. So if you were to have a lower immunity and eat some sort of contaminated Corexit, which is pretty much every fish, every piece of seafood out there almost, you're probably going to have an issue. And if you're trying to use that, like, this is why it's serious. If you're going to try to use shellfish as a supplement to increase your nutrition, then that means you would be eating it frequently. And you should not be eating shellfish frequently, okay? And another thing is people think they can just supplement, okay? Like, oh, I have a zinc deficiency, I'll just supplement. Like, I'll just eat my vegan diet and I'll just supplement. And here's why that doesn't work. Your vegan diet is loaded with phytates, and the phytates are going to block your absorption of your supplementation. So even if you were to supplement that diet with bacon and eggs, liver and cheese, you're still going to have the same problem. So the problem is literally the basis of the vegan diet. And if you watch any number of vegan videos, you'll see a trend here. I'm going to name some foods for you. Foods, quote unquote foods. I'm going to name some foods here that vegans eat a lot, that are really high in phytates, and this is their main fucking problem, okay? Soy, okay? Soy is a bean. Beans are high in phytic acid. So when someone says to you, a vegan namely, oh, if you're just low in zinc, just have some beans, have some hummus, have some lentils, have some black beans and rice. This is not good, because the outer casing of the bean contains the phytic acid, and the phytic acid is the protecting agent of the bean telling you you shouldn't eat it because it's poison. But since you're a human and you have the gut of a scavenger, you don't really notice that it's poison because you can throw back just about anything and be almost okay, okay? But when someone tells you to eat beans all the time that's healthy, you do have to suffer the consequences. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is why vegans can get away with doing their thing for a long time without actually noticing a problem. And this is also why this is the silent killer, because this isn't the loud screaming diabetes that a vegan might get. This isn't the loud screaming anything that a vegan might get. This is your nail pump's out of line, right? Yep. You feel a little tired in the morning. Your hair falls out a little bit more, but you go on with your day and you fry up your fucking tofu like cheap lazy vegan and you think to yourself, I'm doing okay, I'm eating what I'm told to eat, and everything's gonna be fine. But the beans and the soy and everything related to beans, and this is coffee too, so if a vegan is drinking a lot of coffee, oh boy, they are having a serious zinc issue, or they will be. And so this is why when we watch the Cheap Lazy Vegans videos, I am like cringing. I am cringing when she puts peanut butter on whole wheat toast, or when she puts pinto beans on whole wheat toast. That's literally like the worst phytic acid on top of the worst phytic acid combination in the entire world. And she starts her morning sometimes with those things with coffee. So basically, she doesn't get any zinc, okay? And this is very common for a lot of vegans. And why this is a problem is because the whole entire issue with zinc, the whole entire issue surrounding the zinc deficiency is a total body collapse. And this is why veganism causes people to deteriorate. It is the zinc deficiency because zinc governs more of your body than you would ever believe. Like, it governs every fucking thing that happens in every cell of your body, and without it, your reproductive system starts to fucking fail. You, basically, like, a long term, this can lead you to having decreased lean body mass. If you put your children on a vegan diet, they will have slower growth. This is why vegan children in those videos, which I'm not showing by the way, but people can go watch Svetia's videos where he features vegan children, their skulls aren't developing.
Yeah, it's sad.
Their skulls are not developing properly, okay? And people just like, okay, well I say people, but what I'm talking about are the vegan parents in these situations. They're not seeing the situation because they wake up every morning and they see this child, you know, they wake up they're too close to the situation, what I'm saying. So like if you bought a puppy and you took a picture of that puppy every day and you look back on this picture like, wow, a couple months ago our puppy was really tiny. I didn't even realize he grew that much every day. Like, this is the same thing with your malnourishing children. You don't realize every day their eyes are sinking into their fucking skulls because you see it every day. And this one mother who has just the famine face, what do you want to call it? Oh my gosh, she looks like she came from the Great Depression. Like, her eyebrow is all the way down to here, eyes completely sunken into her skull, and she's feeding her kids beans on toast. And I was like thinking, why can't anybody hear me when I tell you about beans and toast? It's stupid. Stop fucking eating beans and toast. Stop it. Stop putting beans on toast. It's peanut butter. Peanut is a bean. Stop fucking putting beans on toast, especially whole wheat toast. Just fucking quit it. Like, the lectin that exists inside the bran needs to be removed. This means white bread is better for you than wheat bread. I'm not saying white bread is good for you. I'm not saying bread is good for you. I'm saying wheat bread is way worse. That's what I'm saying. But back to the foods that vegans like to eat and be proud to eat and tell other people to eat and say are cruelty-free, yet these foods, quote-unquote foods, contain a shit ton of phytic acid. So their soy and their fake meat, we've covered that. The nuts, we've covered that. The whole grains, the whole wheat, the bran, the beans, the coffee, the peanuts. Okay, but spinach, chard, almonds, lentils, and hummus. These are things that vegans, well, this actually is like a tiny list compared to what I should be giving, but these are the ones that are really high in phytic acid. Spinach is high in not only oxalic acid, but phytic acid. So eating spinach means that you don't get any calcium and you don't get any zinc, okay? So your dick isn't going to work, your teeth are going to turn clear, you're going to be at risk for diabetes. Like, everything is going to go wrong because of your green smoothie, spinach-rich lifestyle. You know, when we wake up in the morning, we were like, oh, I just love having a handful of spinach with my eggs. Like, yeah. No. Stop doing that because the spinach is going to block any and all absorption of the nutrients that would be in your wonderful egg. Okay, so a zinc deficiency will lead somebody to have allergies, Bow's lines, hair loss, a weakened immune system, and poor neurological function. And these are some of the first signs that veganism isn't working for you. Allergies. Allergies is a big one. If you're a vegan or even just a vegetarian and you're noticing, like, hey, like, when I was a kid, seasonal allergies didn't exist. Hey, when I was a kid, springtime or fall time didn't bother me like this. It's because when you were a kid, you were fucking eating meat. And now you're not. And you're suffering the consequences. And the longer I was a vegetarian, the longer I was a vegan, the more my allergies were debilitating.
You were sick all the time.
I mean, the allergies would just... I mean, we end up spending thousands of dollars to get treatments from Nate, that's Nambertapod's allergy elimination techniques, to help me heal, because I was like, I'm doing everything, like all these other vegans you see, I'm doing all I can, I'm eating the right diet, I'm doing everything that every book ever told me to do, and somehow, someway, it just isn't working. Anyway, for the men out there, it's important for them to know that everything that goes wrong with the penis and prostate is all surrounding a zinc deficiency. So a vegetarian diet, a vegan diet, or even an omnivorous diet high in phytates, believing that eating a balanced diet is good for you, will lead you to have a limp dick. This is the truth. This is just the fucking truth. Also, the skin changes, diarrhea, decreased lean body mass. These things that vegans just tolerate, they just deal with on the daily basis, and they think that that's normal. Or, like I told you before, they're too close to see. Like, they're just too close to the forest to see the trees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or they're just clouded.
Or they're clouded, exactly, which is another symptom of this. So, like, impaired neurological function is one of the symptoms of a zinc deficiency. And you don't have to be on a vegan diet very long to start being deficient in zinc, because you automatically, okay, so think about it, automatically if you started the vegan diet tomorrow, you're cutting out all of your zinc-rich foods, and you're going to start including all of your phytic acid-rich foods. So right away, your zinc deficiency starts. The day you go vegan, your zinc deficiency begins.
Wow, yeah, you're negative.
All right, we'll recapitulate for a minute or two, and then we're done. We got lots of orders to pack, and the audience is waiting on our new content, which we've been working on behind the scenes. The audience is waiting on another unboxing from Penny Lane, and a lot of our customers are waiting on their packages, and we gotta go. But before we go, we will do a little recap, which is short for recapitulation. And we're gonna talk to the audience real quickly about what I think, what you think, that we, what we think, our personal medical opinion that we think people should do to heal from this, because automatically people are going to go to Google and see shellfish and try to treat with that. And I hope I've made it clear that treating yourself for a zinc deficiency with shellfish is not advisable. It is dangerous. It's ill-advised. Just don't do it. But I would say, personally, that just don't even supplement. Like, you could throw out your copper balance. Just don't even bother supplementing. Cut out your beans, mainly coffee. Cut out the high phytic acid foods, right? And just eat the animal products that you like to eat, and wait like maybe 9 months to a year. If you're concerned, see your doctor. But my advice is just to give it some time, eliminate the plants, eliminate the beans, the whole wheat, the whole grains, the nuts, the soy, the fake meats, the spinach, the chard, the almonds, the lentils, the hummus. Eliminate those and include meats. Include dairy, include eggs, get local eggs if you can. If you have to have a salad, eat it without spinach. Just don't put spinach on it. If you have to have a salad, just put meat on, spinach off. That's the fucking recipe for the salad, okay? Yeah. Eat your leafy greens that are light leafy greens, not dark leafy greens, and put bacon and chicken and tons of fucking animal products on your salad and eat that as a salad. But ultimately, if you have a zinc deficiency, it's quite dangerous to start your morning with coffee. So eliminate that the best that you can, and try to eat as much meat as your body will allow. Whatever you can get your fucking hands on. And stop living your life thinking that beans and rice are good for you, or that hummus is good, or almond milk. So almonds, like putting almond milk in your coffee. Okay, that's really gonna work. Like, you can't put almond milk in your coffee, have a soy patty for breakfast, and then think that you're gonna absorb any zinc in your life. It isn't gonna happen. So, eliminate the plants, eat the animals, wait. That's my recipe. If you have a concern, talk to your doctor, and I don't know, if I guess in doubt, take a prenatal vitamin if you have to. Reproductive women can dabble in prenatal vitamins if they feel fit, I think.
Sounds like you've covered it all.
Sounds like I have. All right, let's get to work.
Something that I've been concerned about was that I hadn't had my period in about 6 months. Endocrinologist who basically gave me the diagnosis that I have premature ovarian insufficiency and can also be described as early menopause. I'm 21. To be honest, I was concerned like, not that I should be, but I was a bit concerned that being vegan might have been something that could have caused this. And I'm not saying that it does, but it's just a thought that crossed my head, honestly.